At noon starts right now.
Well, under 100 degrees in August, that could be the week Mother Nature is setting up for us.
Oh, definitely. And part of that reason, there's some rain chances in the forecast. And our Sarah Spivey is going to join us now to tell us a little bit about what you can expect.
And guys, under 100 in August. Impressive, right? Now we're still going to be at 98, 99, so it'll be hot. But the potential there is for a couple of downpours this afternoon and early evening, right around the time some of y'all are picking up your kids from school for the first time this year, or they're riding the bus stop. So let's go ahead and take a look outside with the satellite and the radar. You can see closer to Houston, there's a couple of showers and storms bubbling up. A few more puffy cumulus clouds out there too. These have a 20% chance of making it to the Alamo City later on today, coming in from the east. So we will keep you posted. Otherwise, it is warm. It's already 89 degrees in San Antonio, 90 in Del Rio and in Eagle Pass, 91 in Laredo. Let's take a look at the rest of the day for you. 98 degrees for the high. Y'all remember that band, 98 Degrees, with Nick Lachey?
We remember 98 degrees.
Yes.
Of course we do.
All right,
Sarah.
98 degrees. A few pop-up downpours, though, later on this afternoon from about 2 p.m. to 8 p.m. After sunset, we're going to see our rain chance go away for the day, but not for the week. We have daily downpours in the forecast. I'll have details soon.
Thank you, Sarah. Well, our back-to-school coverage continues this noon as several districts, including Northside ISD, Northeast ISD, welcome back students of all ages back to their desks. So Daphne Gray spent the morning at Northside ISD, where the excitement could be felt across the district.
Here at Northside ISD, we got thousands of students in the classroom as we speak, and 300 of which right here at Helotes Elementary School. Now, from safety to transportation to the students, this is just how prepared they are for the back-to-school season. What grade are you going to?
First grade, it's so much fun!
We call it the best school in Northside, but don't tell the other schools.
We have all of our buses equipped with GPS, so parents can download Here Comes the Bus app through Northside ISD, www.nisd.net.
How excited are you for school?
Super excited.
Super excited. What's your favorite thing to learn?
PE.
We believe in personalized learning for every student, so it's important to all of us that every kid grows to their fullest potential.
The kids, we're the first ones they see in the morning, and we're the last ones they see, so we want to make sure we're putting a positive attitude on so they can have a good day.
We have our seatbelts here for all students here to be buckled in. Then we have a built-in safety child seats for our smaller babies. Emergency exits, back doors, side windows, up on the top too. Yes, ma'am, we're ready.
Miss Tommy, why don't you give me a good old honk? Hey, that's what I'm talking about.
We are certainly implementing a lot of safety measures since, the tragedy in Uvalde. We want to make sure all of our kids are safe no matter what school they're in. Any door, any exterior door will have an alarm on it that if it's propped will go off after 45 seconds.
It's going to be a great day. You're going to see your friends. You're going to make new friends. And teachers, we are so excited to see you guys.
What is one thing that you want them to walk out of this library knowing from you?
That they are loved, that they are loved, and we want only the best for them in all that they do. We're here for them 100%.
This is the best day in my life.
Give me some. So there you have it, a beautiful first day back for Helotes Elementary School. And one of the words that Principal Crick told me they want to emphasize is the word personal, building that strong bond and relationship between their students and their families. From Helotes Elementary School within the Northside ISD, Daphne Gray, KSAT 12 News.
Oh my gosh, those students, the best day of my life. Oh my goodness, educators are going to make me cry over there. It's so sweet. All right, well, students at Luther Burbank High School have something to look forward to. The school will begin construction of a new athletic building early next year. That's according to the Texas Department of Licensing and Regulation. The athletic building is estimated to cost $18.5 million. The project includes a competition gym, locker rooms for football players, classrooms, and showers. This is all part of San Antonio ISD's 2020 bond renovation project that's divided into a 4-phase program. So far, 7 projects have been completed. Well, thousands of students went back to school today in Southwest ISD, including classes at Meadow Creek. Devin Karp caught up with some kiddos to see what they're looking forward to on the first day of school and how the school is looking to improve standards into the new year.
It's a new year here at Meadow Creek Elementary, and this year's theme is Back to the Future, taking a look at where they've been and where they want their students and the school to go for the year.
What's your favorite thing about the first day of school?
Lunch.
How is it to go back to school with your sister?
Good.
Good? Okay, what are you guys most excited for the first day of school?
Playing with new friends, going to recess with them.
You guys excited? Are you excited? That's awesome.
It's a big day for bus drivers, kiddos, even new teachers getting used to the classrooms.
I taught 4th grade last year, and so moving up when there was an opportunity, I was like, sign me up. I've taught 5th grade. I didn't have all of them. I was self-contained, but I knew a lot of the students, so that was just really exciting for me.
Thousands of students are going back to the 18 campuses in Southwest ISD, and here at Meadow Creek Elementary, today is about setting a good tone for the year.
Morning, you know where you're going? High five in the front. All right, let's have a good day.
So I've asked all of our teachers to do some social emotional learning today with our kids so they can start building those relationships. Those are the most important pieces.
I want you to start thinking you're going to share with your partner somewhere that you went this summer.
Principal Ava Reyna says the theme of Back to the Future means they're setting expectations for the future, aiming to be an A campus.
An A campus means that this school has the best educators and your students are receiving the best education possible. So our kids are doing well on the STAR. And we don't just look at our testing, but also what are our kids producing daily in class.
But these skaters are getting ready to swim through another year of classes and make some friends along the way.
Can I get some high fives? Boom, boom, awesome.
And that was Devin Karp reporting. Looked like he had a good time.
I know. All these kids are having so much fun. I love it.
Yes, and if your kiddos need updated vaccines ahead of the new school year, Comal ISD is hosting 2 student immunization clinics. So both of those will be taking place tomorrow, and anyone interested can register ahead of time, but of course the walk-ins will be accepted. And this is happening at Canyon Middle School from 9 a.m. to noon and at Bill Brown Elementary from 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. The clinics are open to school-age children through the age of 18, and all insurance policies will be verified, and the out-of-pocket cost will be $10 per shot.
Well, right now in Ingram, a city council meeting is getting underway. They're expected to cover several topics, including a possible flood warning system. Council members are expected to hear from people throughout the community. We have a crew there and we'll bring you the latest tonight on the news at 5.
Well, the Kerr County judge wants the county to dip into its savings to avoid raising the tax rate. So on July 4th, floodwaters slammed the Kerr County, killing at least 117 people there.
Well, now the county's looking at the financial consequences of all of that. Garrett Berger live at the Kerr County now, where the county judge just went over his proposed budget. And Garrett, I think the big question we're all asking is, how's the flood affecting the budget?
Well, the county judge only made comments during the meeting. We asked him for an interview, but he declined to talk about the proposed budget that he put forward back on Friday. But from what we were able to gather in the meeting, it seems that property tax exemptions tied to the disaster are probably going to affect collections. And of course, there's recovery efforts, though FEMA is footing a large part of that bill. Even so, there is a big hole in this budget, though it may not be all tied to the flood. We should say that. Still, the judge's proposal, which he filed Friday, uses the exact same tax rate as last year, about 42.33 cents per $100 of valuation. But to keep the rate there means grabbing more than $11 million from their rainy day fund. Raising that much money in property taxes, the judge said, would equate to about a 17-cent bump in the tax rate. Judge says the county's in good position to deal with this at least this year.
We're not going to have the sources of revenues and funds that we've had this year are not going to be available next year. And we're not going to have a fund balance big enough to be able to spend $11 million to try to cope with it.
Now, at least one commissioner thinks the county could actually drop the tax rate further, saying the county typically underspends what it budgets and that they can afford to dig deeper into the county's fund balance. Now, commissioners are scheduled to workshop the budget and tax rate at a Wednesday afternoon meeting, and then they'll be voting 2 weeks from today on the 25th. Live in Kerr County, I'm Garrett Berger, KSAT 12 News.
All right, thanks, Garrett. Well, local volleyball player ready to take on the new season, but she's already looking to the future. She committed to play at a Division I school. Why? She says the choice was easy. Well, looking ahead to this week, there are going to be 2 more town halls hosted by Bexar County Judge Peter Sakai to get community feedback on the 2025-2026 fiscal year budget before Commissioners Court adopts it.
Tuesday's town hall is taking place at the San Antonio Food Bank Valero Community Engagement Center, and Precinct 2 Commissioner Justin Rodriguez will be there. Then on Thursday, it will be at Our Lady of the Lake Guadalupe Catholic Church Parish Hall and will feature Precinct 3 Commissioner Grant Moody. That final town hall will be on Thursday, August 24th in Precinct 4 at Holy Redeemer Hall. All of these are free to attend and start at 6 p.m.
Looking outside, it is hot, but it is sunny, and we are starting to see a few of those puffy cumulus clouds develop. Those are the precursor to some spotty downpours expected later on today. But regardless of how much rain we get, and we'll only get a little bit of rain this week, it's really not going to help out the aquifer. And the aquifer is well below average by nearly 30 feet. But it's down half a foot over the past 24 hours. Molds are pretty low. They're only at 220. And take a look at rain chances this week. Daily chances for downpours, 20 to 30%. Plus, a tropical storm just formed in the Atlantic. Tropical Storm Erin, likely to become the first hurricane of this hurricane season. I'll have those details coming up.
We're almost 90 degrees this afternoon. I mean,
Yes.
we're at 89, so at least the kiddos and the teachers and parents got a cooler start in the morning. Cooler.
I love how we're calling it. It is August, but I love how that's cooler.
It is, especially compared to 2023. So later on in the show, I'm going to have a dramatic comparison. It could be a lot worse, guys.
Yeah.
So 90 degrees right now as we're heading into lunch. Not too bad out there. Let's go ahead and take a look at the forecast highs, though. 98 this afternoon in San Antonio. It'll be 100 in Del Rio, 103 in Laredo, 101 in Cotulla. Yes, this is hot, but this is average heat for us. See here. Usually we see a high temperature right around 97, so not too bad at all. All right, I want to go ahead and take a look at the forecast for the rest of the afternoon, because there is a chance that you might see some rain later on today, especially closer to 3, 4, 5, 6 o'clock, right around the time of the evening commute. 20% chance for you to see rain in your backyard. And then by this evening, once we see the loss of daytime heat, once we see the sun set, we'll see our rain chances go away temporarily. By midnight, it'll be 83. So why are we not as hot as we could be? And why do we have daily chances for downpours? It's because that heat high is shoved off to the west. We really are not under the influence of that heat high. Instead, we've got a low pressure system to our north producing some storms across the Central Plains, and we've got this low pressure system moving in from the Rio Grande Valley. And it's around that area of low that we're actually starting to see some storms develop well east of San Antonio toward Hallettsville, Victoria, just some pop-up downpours. And these are the showers that could make their way to San Antonio during the peak heat of the day, which is in the afternoon and evening. So this is a look at 7 o'clock tonight. You can see a couple of pop-up downpours entirely possible around the Alamo City. And then once we lose that daytime heating, our rain chance goes away temporarily. And I have raised rain chances just a little bit tomorrow to 30%, because it does look like we could have a little bit more influence from that low pressure system that's in the Central Plains right now. So you can see slightly higher coverage tomorrow in the afternoon. Now, while we're not necessarily concerned about damaging weather, there are a couple of things you need to know when it comes to the rain chances this week. Daily 20 to 30% chance. If you do get a downpour, you could have brief but heavy rainfall. Pockets of ½ inch to 1 inch of rain are entirely possible. And with any stronger storms that develop, gusty winds, maybe up to about 40 miles per hour. And even, yes, some small hail could be possible. We're not talking about damaging quarter-sized hail or larger. We're talking about those very small pea-sized hail up to dime-sized hail. It's loud. It's annoying, but it's not necessarily going to cause damage to you or to your property. But that is what's possible this week, every single day. And then the next thing we got to talk about is Tropical Storm Erin, which is formed off of the coast of Africa here. Now, Tropical Storm Erin is expected to strengthen over the very warm waters of the Atlantic Ocean. It will likely become the first hurricane of this season for the Atlantic Ocean, and it's forecast to strengthen into a major Category 3 hurricane or greater by the weekend. Now, beyond the weekend, most indications are that Erin is going to turn potentially out into open sea. It's not going to impact the Gulf or Texas, so we don't need to worry about that here. But beyond Saturday, August 20th through August 22nd, its exact path is still unknown and open for the potential to make landfall along the eastern coast of the United States. Again, most likely staying out into open ocean, but still that possibility is there. So we will keep you posted. Again, Erin will not be impacting Texas or the Gulf. Looking at that 7-day forecast, high temperatures are going to be less than 100 degrees, as I mentioned. Small daily chance for an isolated shower or storm, and then by the weekend, the heat high builds back in. As I mentioned earlier, it could be a lot worse. I'll have a comparison to 2003 and the last couple of years coming up in just a bit.
All right, thanks, Sarah. Well, some local students are starting the new year with some fresh gear, courtesy of the San Antonio Spurs. How they were able to score backpacks for free.
And student athletes are ready to head back to campus and back to their teams. One local high school junior already knows the game plan after she graduates. She's going to be playing for UTSA, why she says it's the only school that felt like home.
Yeah, no, it's great. I think especially as my wife and I have had our own children and stuff, and realizing just being able to help a family and help parents who are just trying to do the best by their children, and to be able to provide for them in some way and give back to the community. I feel like it's something that I've grown an appreciation for over the years, and we're happy to just help out the city of San Antonio and all the people in it. And this is kind of ultimately what we're about with the Spurs, is just being able to give the city something to be proud of, and happy to be able to give our thanks back to them. All right, here you go. We got it.
Wow, it's not every day that you get to say a San Antonio Spur gave me my new backpack. Well, this weekend, a whole bunch of San Antonio kids got that cool moment over at the Frost Bank Center. So Spurs players Luke Cornett and Carter Bryant were handing out school supplies at the 4th annual Back to School Bash, from book bags to cool Spurs hats, pictures with the Coyote, and even some back to school haircuts. So the Spurs have served over 11,000 community members since starting this event.
Well, the volleyball community here in San Antonio is a strong one. A lot of big talent signing with some stellar programs around the country. But Sotomayor's Karina Barrera decided she wanted to stay right here in town. Karina is only a junior at Sotomayor High School, but she's already committed to play volleyball at UTSA in just a couple of years. We were out at practice last week to see how she and the Wildcats are doing ahead of their fall season. And we got to ask her what that moment was like when she realized she was going to be a road runner.
It was great. It was just a lot of emotions because I've always been a UTSA volleyball fan, specifically, especially since I was a little girl. Like, I would go to all their games. Like, that was kind of just like, my dream was to picture me on that big stage there in my hometown. So now that one day I'm going to get that opportunity, it feels great. The biggest part for me was the coaching staff. I love the coaching staff. I visited a lot of schools and went to a lot of different camps, and all the coaches were great, but I felt a real connection with the UTSA coaches. I've known a few of them for a long time, so it just feels I feel really comfortable there. It just feels like home, kind of, and that's UTSA, somewhere I can definitely picture myself playing in 2 years.
Big congratulations to her. She also said she plans to be pre-med major when she gets to campus in 2027.
Well, back to school season also means back to those Friday night lights, and we here at KSAT are gearing up for the 2025 KSAT Pigskin Classic. So this year, Sotomayor takes on Clark High School. It's all going down on August 28th at Ferris Stadium, and that is on the northwest side of town. So kickoff is set up for 7 p.m. that night, and we hope you can join us there to watch the action in person. However, if you can't, we have you covered here on KSAT, so you can watch it KSAT, KSAT Plus, on KSAT.com, and you can watch it on our BGC app. Don't miss the fun before the game. Also, our KSAT sports team will be live with KSAT Game Day starting at 6:30 p.m., so don't miss it.
A health checklist ahead of a school year can keep parents organized. What you need to keep in mind.
Trump has called up the National Guard to fight crime in the nation's capital, despite violent crime dropping for 2 straight years. I'm Cristiano Cordero in Washington with that story coming up.
Well, welcome back. It's 12:29, and just like a lot of you, we are getting ready for the new school year.
Yeah, it is a lot to do, and many things as parents that's on our to-do list is making sure health needs are met.
Our Patty Santos talked to a pediatrician about the health checklist that every family needs.
Okay, we got 1 more week, so we got to start, sleeping early, practicing getting up early and having fun because it's our last week. So
we met Laura Villalobos at the University Health Pediatrics Clinic at Hebner Commons. Her kids are getting physically and mentally ready for school.
Your second grader must be excited, though.
Yeah, she's very excited. She's always been excited about school. She not so much.
With the school year starting, a lot of forms have to be filled out. We have to make sure that their kids are healthy and ready to go.
Pediatrician Benjamin Balderman says on top of every family's list is knowing which medications your kids need to take to school and having those refills on hand. But families will have questions beyond the first day.
I really want to just educate them on what to be aware of when their kid is sick. So if they have a cough, a congestion, a fever, it's important to know how to deal with that throughout the school year as well.
Sudden cardiac arrest is the leading cause of death in young athletes. It's very often unrecognized until it happens. Even those kids who may be in tip-top shape need a health check before starting a new sport.
There are some cardiac diseases that don't really present until a kid is full force in the action. And a lot of the time they have no previous cardiac history, never had shortness of breath, never had chest pain.
And that was our Patty Santos reporting. So some other things to get the kids ready. Start that bedtime routine tonight if you're starting this week later on, and if not, keep getting them into bed early. So if your family is uninsured and you need help finding a clinic, we have a list on our website at KSAT.com.
Northeast ISD has about 55,000 students starting their first day today, and of that bunch, 150 of them are going into their second year of their early college program at MacArthur United. The program, which specializes in education and business, started last year. It gave students hands-on experience in each field of interest and put them that much closer to their career of choice.
So this hands-on experience is not just in the classroom. I hear that you guys had some fun activities through the summer.
Yes, we got the opportunity to take our 9th grade students who had just finished their freshman year to Regency Elementary, and they were given the opportunity to teach 3rd and 4th graders how to create an invention, how to market it, and they created a little prototype. And it was a really cool experience. The students got to act as the teachers, and they did a really good job at it.
Well, in the end of this program, students have a chance to graduate with 60 college hours under their belt, as well as an associate's degree. Well, a lot of kiddos are back in class today, and many more are wrapping up summer break in the coming days, and we want to see how you and your family are gearing up for the new year. So share your back to school pictures with us on KSAT.com and through our KSAT Connect app. We can't wait to see your first day smiles.
Taking a look outside with live cam, 89 degrees. The fact that we're not in 90 is a big deal. The fact that it's 98 is the high is a big deal. We're going to take each degree as we can get it, Santa.
I just keep on thinking about people who might be visiting San Antonio or experiencing their first summer in the Alamo City and kind of chuckling that we're getting excited that it's only going to be 98. It's hot, but
it doesn't last that long.
It's true. It's true. And we have a chance to see a little bit of rain in the coming days. Let's take a look at the rest of your forecast for the day. 20% chance for a pop-up downpour during the evening commute and until sunset. Otherwise, it'll be 98 for the high. It could be a lot worse, okay? Take a look at your screen. So far, we have had just 11 100-degree days this year. Last year we had 27, which is more than the average of 18, but 2022 and 2023 were brutal summers for us. 58 100-degree days in 2022 and 75 in 2023, the most on record for the Alamo City. Yeah, back in 2021 we had a pretty mild summer, but summers where the number of 100-degree days have been less than average are kind of starting to become few and far between for the Alamo City. So what you need to know for the rest of the week is that we will have a few daily spotty downpours, 20 to 30% chance each day. Hot, but not too hot, staying just under 100. And Tropical Storm Erin has just formed in the open Atlantic, and it will likely be the first hurricane of the season. I'll talk a little bit about Erin's potential path and whether or not it'll impact the United States coming up in a bit. Courtney.
Thanks, Sarah. Well, a man is dead after a fiery crash on the north side around 1:30 this morning. San Antonio police say they chased a car that was speeding, and the car even lost them twice. The driver eventually crashed into a stone pillar in front of Fort Sam Houston, and the car burst into flames. Fort Sam Houston police did manage to pull that driver out of the car, but he did not survive.
Well, a small group of activists from PETA stood outside the San Antonio Aquarium just yesterday to protest the treatment of animals in tanks. Now, the group says they have problems with the way the owners of the aquarium, the Covino family, treat their animals by placing them in touch tanks. So a viral TikTok showing an octopus refusing to let go of a 6-year-old boy is bringing some of those issues to the public's attention. Now, the activists say that they plan to protest the aquarium's actions far into the future.
We know it's just a matter of time until another person gets hurt. We want to prevent that. I certainly wouldn't want my child inside being at risk because these people really don't care about these animals. They're in it for the money.
Well, the protesters that our crews interviewed said that the San Antonio Aquarium reportedly turned on the sprinkler system to deter them from standing on the sidewalk. Now they plan to file a complaint with SAWS for wasting water on a hot afternoon.
Well, President Trump is calling up the National Guard to the nation's capital.
The president saying it is needed to crack down on crime in Washington, D.C. However, as ABC's Christiane Cordero reports, violent crime has been dropping the last 2 years.
Today, the Trump administration is looking to ramp up its federal law enforcement presence in the nation's capital.
I'm announcing a historic action to rescue our nation's capital from crime, bloodshed, bedlam, and squalor, and worse.
President Trump has been critical of Washington, D.C. for years. He suggested a federal takeover of the city shortly after a former government staffer who used to work for Elon Musk was attacked in an attempted carjacking, according to authorities. The president dubbing today Liberation Day in D.C.
We're going to take our capital back. We're taking it back. Under the authorities vested in me as the President of the United States, I'm officially invoking Section 740 of the District of Columbia Home Rule Act. You know what that is? And placing the D.C. Metropolitan Police Department under direct federal control.
Sources tell ABC News officials from the ATF, Secret Service, and U.S. Park Police have been dispatched to the district, plus 120 FBI agents. President Trump is also suggesting trying teenagers as young as 14 as adults. Despite the president's claims about violence in D.C., police data shows crime in the nation's capital is down 7% since last year. Violent crime has dropped 26%. Property crime is down 5%. Violent crime in D.C. hit a 30-year low in January. D.C.'s mayor pushing back on MSNBC.
Now, if the priority is to show force in an American city, we know he can do that here. But it won't be because there's a spike in crime.
The National Guard was activated in D.C. for 2 high-profile events during Trump's first term. Trump called them in response to the Black Lives Matter protests in 2020. Then on January 6, 2021, the Pentagon activated the National Guard when Trump's supporters stormed the Capitol. Christiane Cordero, ABC News, Washington.
As we know, life jackets are very important. Unfortunately, though, there are counterfeits out there. So this noon, we have a look at how to spot the fakes.
And it's a popular toy among kids and adults, fueled by social media, but it is attracting more than just attention. How scammers are taking advantage of the trend. Now to a warning from the Better Business Bureau about some of the summer's hottest toys.
That's right. Labubus are on everybody's wish list, and now scammers are seizing on that trend.
ABC Stephanie Ramos reports crooks are leaving customers in the lurch.
What did I get, y'all?
It's the plush designer toy that's become the must-have item of the year.
They're so adorable.
Everyone clamoring for Labubus, from tweens to adults, even stars like Lizzo.
Can't even outdress my Labubu.
The little accessories produced by Beijing-based toy maker Pop Mart fueling a $1 billion industry. But with their ever-growing popularity, the Better Business Bureau warns scammers too, who now want a piece of the pie. And would-be victims should be on high alert.
People are searching or they're scrolling and they see somebody that claims that they have the item. So they're purchasing it. They're waiting a few weeks and then they're not getting anything or they're getting something that's fake.
According to BBB's Scam Trammer, there would have been more than 80 reported instances of people purchasing what they thought were real Labubus, seen here, that in reality turned out to be counterfeits, like these, better known as Lafufus.
It's kind of scary looking.
This Lafufu Caitlin Bond bought came from a local store.
Her name is Scamantha, like Samantha, but because she was a scam, it's Scamantha.
The box Scamantha came in even had a QR code taking buyers to the Pop Mart website, but the toy clearly not the real one.
So this one's pretty stationary, like the head and everything doesn't move. This one, the head is very loose on it and the head spins all the way around. The hands spin, the feet are not supposed to do that. It's also like very large compared to this one, like they're supposed to be the same size.
The BBB says shoppers should take protective steps to ensure they don't get ripped off, including shopping from reputable retailers, using caution when clicking sponsored ads, and if a deal seems too good to be true, it probably is. Stephanie Ramos, ABC News, New York.
Okay, so now it's Labubus, but when I was growing up, it was Beanie Babies.
Beanie Babies. And you know what? We all thought we were going to make a fortune, and they're worth nothing because we all have all of them.
That's a good point, Courtney.
Although I did give my son a Bluey Beanie Baby. He's obsessed with Bluey right now. So Beanie Babies are still a thing. Let's see how long Labubus last. Doubt it'll last as long as Beanie Babies. Okay, the aquifer is down half a foot over the last 24 hours. In the pollen count, we've just got molds. They're present in low amounts at 220, down quite a bit from actually over the weekend. And we've got daily chances for downpours, 20-30% chance. I'll have the latest on when we could expect some rain and the latest on newly formed Tropical Storm Erin after the break.
Well, yeah, maybe it's not 100, and also the fact that we even have a chance for rain today. I think that's great.
Yes, it could be a lot worse this time of year. We could easily be well above 100 day after day after day. But because we have a chance for daily downpours, our temperatures will be below 100. So I'm going to call it dodging daily downpours this week.
Ooh, that's hard to say.
Like that alliteration?
Yeah.
Let's say it 5 times fast. No, just kidding. Don't. Okay, 70's already started.
She'll practice.
Yeah, 20 to 30% chance in the afternoon through the early evening hours. Temperatures, as I mentioned, will be hot, but just under 100. So pretty average. And then we will talk about Tropical Storm Erin, which has just formed off of the coast of Africa. It has got a long way to go over the warm waters of the Atlantic, and Erin will likely strengthen into the first hurricane of Atlantic hurricane season, a little bit behind schedule. By now we usually see our first hurricane of the season, but you can see that it will likely strengthen into a major Category 3+ hurricane by Saturday. Beyond Saturday, all indications are that Erin will not impact the Gulf, so we do not need to worry about Erin having a direct impact to Texas or any of the Gulf states there. However, although most indications are that Erin will stay out in the open Atlantic, perhaps just impacting Bermuda before moving out into the open Atlantic, there still is a low-end potential that it could impact the eastern coast of the United States. So we will keep you posted beyond Saturday. That time frame would be August 20th to August 22nd. Otherwise, again, Erin will be strong and mainly a storm for the fishes. So we'll keep you posted on Erin. Just a reminder that we are approaching the peak of Atlantic hurricane season, which is on September 10th. Climatologically, that's when we see the most named storms and hurricanes developing. So we're right here. So we're quickly approaching that peak. So we'll see Activity likely ramp up in the Atlantic fairly soon here, just like what we're seeing right now with Tropical Storm Erin. We will keep you posted as your weather authority. 89 in San Antonio, 90 in New Braunfels, 90 in Del Rio. Already feels like 97 in Del Rio. We've got a wind from the south at about 5 to 10 miles per hour. 90 in Bernie and 89 in Kerrville. For the rest of this afternoon, a 20% chance for a pop-up downpour through the evening commute. So as you're going to pick up your kids from school, some people doing that for the first time this year, know that you might have to turn those windshield wipers on once or twice. But again, that chance is about 20%. Otherwise, we'll be looking at a mostly clear and quiet evening with temperatures falling into the 80s after midnight. Every single day this week, including tomorrow, I bumped up rain chances slightly tomorrow. We will have a chance in the afternoon from 2 p.m. to 8 p.m. for spotty downpours. If you get a storm, brief but heavy rain is possible, and even some gusty winds of up to 40 miles per hour, or perhaps even some small hail is possible too. We do not expect widespread damaging severe weather, but there is that possibility for that typical strong thunder shower to develop the afternoons the next couple of days. Reason why we have a bit of an unsettled weather pattern is because that heat high is all the way off to the west. It's not directly overhead. We've got low pressure system to our north, low pressure system coming in off of the Gulf, and that's why we're going to see high temperatures just below 100 degrees in the coming days. But by the weekend, that heat high starts to build back in, and so we'll likely be near triple digits again on Sunday. Not a bad looking forecast for the hottest part of the year. This is our hottest time of the year typically, so it could be a lot worse.
I think you're right. We'll take it, Sarah. In the summertime, safety alert about counterfeit life jackets. What do you need to look for before you buy one? Well, life jackets are important and they can help you avoid tragedy in the water. However, that's only if they work properly.
Yeah, one way to make sure is to check that you don't have a counterfeit life jacket. Those exist. ABC's Gio Benitez explains what you should look out for.
I end up picking a life jacket that has the most 5-star reviews.
Allie Wojak of Chicago says she bought what she thought was an approved life jacket online for her son.
Intended use. First of all, intended is spelled wrong.
Only to find out it was likely counterfeit, making it unclear if it was even safe to use.
As a parent, obviously my son's safety is at the utmost importance. And I really thought that I was, I'm buying this product to protect him.
The U.S. Coast Guard approves life jackets. The agency allows manufacturers to submit their products to certified testing labs to make sure that they meet certain specifications. If the jacket is approved, it will have a U.S. Coast Guard approved label and number listed, but they warn to be on the lookout for counterfeits.
I have seen it on social media. I have seen it on different online digital shopping where people buy something called a life jacket, but you can really end up getting a life jacket that is not going to provide the buoyancy and the life-saving that it needs.
This is one of the most important safety devices in the world.
UL Solutions is one of only 2 labs in the world approved to test life jackets.
There's a number of different standards, but what our team looks for, first of all, how quickly can you get it on? And then you need to test for fit and comfort. You don't want to slip out of it. You don't want it to float away.
Right, it's not one size fits all.
It is not one size fits all.
UL giving GMA a behind-the-scenes look at its rigorous testing. Here we go. First up, the emergency donning test to see how quickly you can put on the device.
Done. All right, 13.75, which is a very, very fast donning time.
So ideally, how quickly do you want to get this on?
We want to see that the subject is able to don the device within 60 seconds.
Next, the water entry test.
We're going to have you walk all the way to the edge of the platform,
where I jump into the water with my hands above my head to see if the jacket stays on. It's still on. The series of tests also include flotation stability.
And that's 90 millimeters.
So perfect. It has to be above 50 millimeters.
Above 50 millimeters to pass.
You can still breathe.
Yes.
If you're unconscious.
Yes, so you can breathe, your vision isn't impeded.
And the self-righting test.
Go! Awesome. 0.71.
And water emergence. While my jacket passed the test, UL says that's not always the case.
Our experience is that 30% of the flotation devices that are brought to our labs do not pass those initial tests.
UL says it then works with the manufacturer to fix any issues to make sure that the product you're buying is safe. Gio Benitez, ABC News, New York.
All right, how does this sound? Under 100 every single day with a small chance for rain. It really couldn't get a lot better for a summer forecast. I'm getting a round of
Golf clap,
applause
golf
here.
clap.
That is a true golf clap for a forecast that would be miserable to golf in. Honestly, if you're out there with that heat, good for you. I know my uncle is somebody who golfs even in the hottest of the
My husband does that. I don't know how.
Because it's fun, I guess.
One thing I will say for our golfers, remember, you're carrying a lightning stick, so when thunder roars,
goodness.
go indoors.
That's true. Yes. And drink water right now, for now.
Or just stay inside.
AC.
Point too.
Love it.
Have a good day.